Hey everyone, welcome back. We're back in the bedroom, and per usual, that only means one thing. A closet declutter. So for those of you who don't know me, I have basically been on a decluttering journey. Throughout this time, I've really just been focusing on minimizing my closet, defining my personal style, and doing that by focusing on the items I already have in my closet. I'm realizing the more I let go of, the more I'm figuring out what my personal style is to me. And too many clothes just stress me out. One of the ways that I've really been streamlining my decluttering is by tracking my wardrobe. I've actually been tracking my wardrobe on a spreadsheet very close to every single day, and that has really helped me see for myself in real time what I wear, what I reach for, and what I don't. And just so you know, it's not a requirement or anything to track your clothes as closely as I did. For me, it's a little bit of a BS factor because I can rationalize my way pretty much in and out of anything if I wanted to. Seeing the numbers, seeing the frequency, it just helps me filter out the nonsense that I can put myself through a lot of the time when I am decluttering. So I will leave that spreadsheet linked down below for you. And yes, I'm chewing on a cucumber as I film this. The more I declutter, the more I really start to really figure out and understand my personal style. And I made a video a couple months ago all about decluttering my fantasy self. I'll leave it linked right here for you. But the pursuit of my fantasy self, this persona that I wanted to build for myself through my personal style, which was this like cool girl, LA, rocker chic, boho, effortless Parisian cool girl. I was trying to curate that effortless persona without really understanding what worked in my everyday life and what I actually felt good in and what I actually ended up wearing. So by understanding my fantasy self and now also understanding and accepting my actual reality has really helped me decide what I want to keep and what I want to let go of. And this is something that I reevaluate and reassess every couple of months, because the thing that I'm also realizing is that your personal style, your needs, and your preferences are going to be quite fluid. And something that you may have had a hard time letting go of 6 months ago may be a little bit easier to let go of 6 months later. So I do recommend kind of revisiting this fantasy self, revisiting your closet, revisiting your personal style and your pieces to see if things still resonate or not. And although for the most part I find my personal style is pretty consistent, there are pieces that I just simply didn't reach for and that I don't plan on reaching for anytime soon. So these are some of the things that I am letting go of and why. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, then you know that I love my blazers. I'm definitely a blazer collector, and I would always be searching for blazers in different shapes and sizes, and I wanted effortless and oversized and shoulder pads and knot and linen and men's and all different variations of blazers. I could not get enough, but I pretty much only wear 3 of my blazers on a fairly regular rotation, and those are the ones that I kept. So one that I decided to declutter is this men's blazer that actually was Jeff's, and then he gave it to me because I liked how oversized it was. He wasn't wearing it. But what I realized is that navy blue, or at least this shade of navy blue, you can see, it really washes me out. Every time I put this blazer on and I film, I look like I am sick. It makes me look very sallow. The last time I tried to wear it, I caught myself in the mirror and I'm like, are you okay? I don't really know that much about color theory when it comes to getting dressed. For me, I know I like my blacks, whites, occasional browns. But what I realized with some of the things that I'm getting rid of is that when I put it on, what feels off about it is actually the color. It just doesn't feel or seem quite right. But I find I really do when I have like white with this blazer, I don't know, I start to disappear in it and I feel like I look really washed out. I don't like the way I look in it at all. I'm going to get rid of this one. And in terms of colors that washed me out, Same with this blazer. I wanted a cream colored white blazer for ages, and I actually bought this blazer last summer. It was in one of my summer capsule wardrobe videos. It's the nostalgia blazer from Aritzia from Wilfred. I don't know, it's not a good color on me, I realized. I find that this color really washes me out again. I'm looking at myself in the mirror behind the camera and I feel like it's just not quite right on me. Really nice, like oversized fit, looks really cool, and the whole intention was to wear like an outfit like this, like a black sort of top or tank top t-shirt, this blazer, and then a pair of jeans. I think that's a really nice neutral look, but it's just not my color. It's not what I reach for. Definitely prefer black. And according to my spreadsheet, I didn't wear this at all. I wore it when I first bought it, when it was new, which, let's be honest, that's how it often goes. When you buy something new, you probably wear it for a while, and then over time that novelty starts to wear off, and that's when it sort of starts to disappear into the back of your closet. You see it, you revisit it, you're like, oh, it's nice, I have good taste, but for whatever reason you keep passing it by. That was this blazer for me. Next thing to go, my final Anina Bing tee. This tee was the one that I passed over decluttering every single time for the last 2 years. It held sentimentality for me. I bought it in Paris. It was my first Anina Bing purchase. I idolized her as a style muse. I still do. And I used to have like 10 or 12 Anina Bing brand t-shirts. I love her t-shirts. I love her brand, her style. But what I'm sort of leaning away from, especially these days, is, with the exception of a couple of pieces in my wardrobe, I'm not really into this like overt branding anymore. I think this t-shirt's classic. It fits really nicely. It has like this beautiful vintage feel to it. Very flattering, but again, I never reached for it, and I had opportunity after opportunity to reach for it. And the other thing I also did to test myself was I took it out of my closet and put it away in storage for the past, probably since my last declutter, so the past like 5 or 6 months. I never thought about it once. I never reached for it once. So I'm gonna let it go, because the thing is like, when I was pulling this out again, I forgot I even had it. So if I didn't think about it enough to even remember that I had it in the first place, then letting it go should not really be a big deal. In terms of some decluttering barriers, this one could be how much money I paid for it, the fact that I bought it in Paris for the first time, the fact that it was my first Anina Bing purchase that felt important to me at the time. There's a lot of like nostalgia and sentiment when it comes to this t-shirt, but obviously not enough because I forgot that I even owned it. So that to me is a huge indicator that I'm gonna be okay with letting it go and letting somebody else enjoy it. Same goes with this button up that I got from Tradlands. This was gifted to me as part of a collaboration I did with them a few years ago. And Tradlands is a really beautiful, basic, slow fashion brand. I really love their stuff, but to be honest, I just don't reach for this particular button up because I find it quite stiff and starchy to wear. I'm still, I don't want to say on the hunt, but like I haven't found a button up that I really enjoy wearing unless it's linen, and I think because linen just seems to fall a little more effortlessly, it's a little less structured, and I realize that that is really my preference when it comes to how my clothing fits for the most part, unless it's like this tank top that I always wear. So getting into trousers, I've decided to let these go. These are the Babaton Siddiqui pants. I bought these a couple of years ago, back in my Aritzia haul days, and these are actually a really beautiful classic pair of pants. They are extremely soft. They're nice and high-waisted, really flattering, but I find that they're actually a bit too long on me, where when I walk, I actually have to kind of like lift up the pants, walk to work like this so that the bottoms don't drag. Now, I know a very simple fix to that would be to go ahead and hem these or do some double-sided tape. I'm just not gonna do that. I haven't done it, I don't wanna do it, and instead I would rather just let them go for somebody else, maybe slightly taller than me, to enjoy. Sorry about that audio. I hope it was okay. The next bits I am decluttering, ooh, I touched the bottom, are these Converse. These are very much my style, as you can tell. But these I never wear, I think solely because of the branding. These are the Play by Comme des Garçons Converse. These were really, really big, I'd say in like 2018 2018, 2019. I saw them everywhere. There were different styles with like little hearts, big hearts, all kinds of hearts with eyes. I literally bought these on impulse as I was passing through a Nordstrom in the mall. These were one of the very last impulse buys that I made before I consciously decided to change my shopping habits, do my no buy, my low buy, and start getting out of debt. So as you can see, I barely wore them. I think I wore these like 3 times. And it's because I think when I put them on, I just like, something just feels a little bit off to me about them, and I find that I like immediately take them off. Again, I don't really love the branding on them. Some people might think it's cute and unique, and I feel like that's completely valid, but for me, I don't know. I'd rather it be plain. I'm also letting go of this Tradlands jumpsuit. This I wore quite a bit last summer. Like, when have you seen me in color besides this? I don't wear color, and that is something I have very much accepted. I don't think blue is my color anyway. This shade, I don't know. I really do love jumpsuits. I find them quite effortless and fun, but I just continuously bypass this one, and I've pretty much gone through all summer this year without reaching for it at all. So that to me is a signifier that it's time to let it go. And the reason I went for this color, like, I think if I picked this out in black, I wouldn't be so keen to let it go. The reason I decided to go with this color was I kind of was just like, oh, why not try something new? But it's almost like I had this little voice in the back of my head that was kind of like, are you sure? To be honest, when it comes to color or challenging myself with my wardrobe, I don't think shopping and acquiring new pieces, new things just to try is the best way to go about it. And for me, it's often like a gut reaction that I very much rationalize my way out of listening to. And that's what happened with this. I thought it would be fun and cute and quirky to go with like a different color in my wardrobe. Why not have some fun? Why not be adventurous? But what I tell myself and what I actually do are often 2 very different things. And the final bits I'm going to be getting rid of, decluttering, are these very cool Stuart Weitzman Mira mules. I remember being obsessed with these to a point where it was like I couldn't think about anything else. To be honest, actually, these are beautifully comfortable. They're very cool. They're not too high of a heel at all. I used to cut myself a lot of slack and give myself a lot of liberties when it came to my shoes, because I often told myself that that's how I have fun and sort of express myself with my personal style, because all of this is often so basic and so simple that if I can jazz it up with like a cool shoe, then that's how I add a little bit of flair and personality. And in some of the shoes that I kept, I think that's completely true, but I'm just not reaching for these. I have other options for special occasions that may be coming up, so I don't really want to keep these around for a just in case anymore. So those are some of the pieces that I have decided to declutter lately. A lot of these I have actually got quantitative data on how often I actually wore these, and others I just felt like it was time to let it go, because seeing them every day and then creating this dialogue of, oh, why not try to wear them, or you should wear them, or you wasted your money on that. Telling myself that whenever I happen to bypass them in my closet and again reach for something else, I was kind of done with that. I'm done with that level of stress and guilt and rationalization. It's time to let some of these things go. And that's the whole point of decluttering for me and minimizing my closet, and why I am slowly but surely working on minimizing my closet down to the very basics. My denim is obviously another story. Let me know some of the things that you may have decluttered lately and why. And if you would be so kind to leave this video a thumbs up, it really does help out my channel a lot. If you aren't already, please subscribe. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.